So part of that intellectual stimulation is encouraging creativity among followers by encouraging them to explore new ways of doing things and finding them new opportunities to learn. You may be asking yourself, how can this work in training, as there is a standardized way to enter or dispatch a call for service? You can show them how to think outside the box when talking to child callers and needing to obtain an address. Have them show you ways that they feel comfortable searching the internet for mapping tools, and then showing them how to use that in relation to setting up a perimeter. However it is done, this is about elevating the training itself to meet the needs of the follower. Ask about their study habits and figure out what is working or not working. I had a trainee who was struggling with memorization, and after asking more questions, we found out that they were using flashcards, but they were writing down the answers instead of vocalizing their radio codes. We changed up their study habits to playing games with the codes so that they were saying them aloud repetitively, which helped their retention, and then they advanced very quickly. This leads us to the individualized consideration. Tailor your training program to the needs of each person. This may not seem practical to your team, but if you foster a supportive relationship and keep the lines of communication open so that the trainee feels free to share ideas instead of it always being an authoritarian relationship, it allows us as trainers to recognize the strengths of the trainee and then identify where the additional help is needed. As a dispatcher, you have to have the internal motivation to do the work necessary, even if there are no external rewards beyond your paycheck. In many agencies, dispatchers are cordoned off into locked facilities with no contact with the public, administration, and in some cases even their own officers. If as trainers we can answer the why of what we do for the trainee early and then often, we're fulfilling the inspirational motivation portion of transformational leadership. If we can infect our trainee with the same passion to fulfill the division or departmental goals that we have, then they will have that internal motivation to sustain them, even if the acknowledgement of their service is few and far between. As trainers, we should always hold ourselves up as role models for our trainees. Having a do as I say and not as I do mentality is not going to serve anyone well, as the trainee will adopt the bad habits of who they are surrounded by when they are looking for examples of how to act in the communication center. This idealized influence is perhaps the most significant part of being a trainer. If we can teach one thing but then we do another, we'll only confuse and disappoint a new employee who's looking to us for guidance.